Hey, hey, SPC 205. Quick time is still baffling me. This is a quick video. It's not going to be a full 50-minute lecture. I just want to go over a couple of the coming to you live on tape for my audience here on campus. I want to go over the problem solution speeches, and then I want to go over the rubric for the persuasive speeches. Okay, first of all, problem solution speeches came out for this semester pretty much like they do. Had a couple of A's, had a few more B's, had a lot of C's, had a couple of D's, and then I got some people that are going to want to work to improve their grades. It fell within the bell curve. Everything was pretty normal. Let me just hit some things that everybody's going to want to concentrate on as we go into this last speech. First of all, there's three things that are relatively, totally and completely objective. Okay, and I've explained to you how I grade them, and I've explained to you exactly what I mean by them. And the three things are evidence, time, and framing. For evidence, I've told you we need three pieces of evidence, and I've told you how to introduce them. You will say today, according to, or this comes from, or you will explicitly introduce it as evidence. Anytime you don't give us that explicit introduction, it's going to come across as just your opinion, all right? So that evidence needs to be explicitly introduced. Same thing with time. I've said this over and over again. The time for that speech was 4 minutes and 30 seconds to 6 minutes. If you go over 6 minutes, it doesn't make any difference if it's 3 seconds or a minute and a half in a couple of cases. You're going to get 0 for time. Same thing for on the bottom end. You go below 4:30 and you're going to get a 0. That's, watch your tapes. See how long they are, and then if they're not in the right time frame, just redo them. Okay, and again, framing, I got to see you. I got to have a gap below your feet. I got to have space above the top of your head. Okay, I mean, that's just, I've said that I don't know how many times. I've still got people losing points for evidence, time, and framing, and those are really objective. It's not a lot I can do about them. Okay, so let's get into the meat of the matter. Your introductions, overall, everything is improved. I would say there was an overall improvement between the two speeches, from your informative speech to your problem solution speech. Your attention device, you got to deliver it like there's something to be heard, like there's a reason to pay attention. If you step up there and say, this year 14 million people are going to die because they eat too much red meat. Okay, nobody's going to care, all right? But when you say this year, or when you start out with 14 million people are going to die. Let me say that again, 14 million people, okay? You have to deliver your attention device in a way to draw attention. A lot of you are just getting up there and just making these statements, these sentences. You're not putting any emphasis into it. You're not putting any vocal emphasis. In a lot of cases, you're just sort of you're doing a statement of purpose. Just sort of, a very big problem in the United States today is people eat too much meat. That's not an attention device. So you got to focus on doing something to wow the audience right off the bat. Your statement of purpose needs to be one sentence, and it needs to be a short sentence. Today I'm here to talk to you about the fact that people eat too much red meat in this country, okay? Not that people eat too much red meat, and then I'm going to give you a solution, and we're going to... That's your preview, okay? Statement of purpose, short sentence. Today I'm here to talk to you about the fact that Americans eat too much red meat, okay? That's it. Move on. Your credentials are generally pretty good. A couple of you are still going like, and I know about red meat because I've eaten a lot of red meat. Okay, that doesn't make you qualified. You need to give us something. And again, I ask you simply to say, hey, I've been researching this topic, so I'm prepared to talk about it. It's that simple. And then the preview needs to be brief. With this, hey, listen, as I've already said, we're going to talk about the fact that Americans eat too much red meat. We're going to look at that problem, and then we're going to look at a solution. Bam, bam. Introduction should last 30 to 40 seconds, not 2.5 minutes, okay? You need to go back, and when you finish doing your speech, go back and look at it and see how long when you leave your introduction, okay? 30 to 40, I can cover everything. You can cover everything you need to cover in an introduction in 30 to 40 seconds, okay? Main bodies, overall pretty good. A lot of people still had some issues with practicality and efficacy. Nothing massive, but a lot of people did. That's fine. The main thing you need to do with the main body is you need to add transitions. For some reason, and I haven't figured out why, and I've tried different ways of approaching it, but in their informative speech, people are really big about my second main point is. And when they get to the problem solution speech, that sort of falls to the wayside. No, man, I need to hear you say my second main point is, my third main point will be. We need those explicit, deliberate transitions. You need to get in the habit of that. That's where, in the body of the speech, I think people really need to focus are those explicit, deliberate transitions between the main points. And also, a lot of you guys just sort of said, hey, yeah, of course it'll work. Let's move on. Everybody needs to stop the smoking kills millions of people in the United States every year. So the solution is don't smoke. Good night. That's not a plan. That's not a program. That doesn't have practicality or efficacy. Okay? People die because they don't wear their seatbelts. Wear your seatbelts. That'll solve the problem. Which is why I cut texting and driving as a topic, because I kept having to take points away from students because they would say, texting and driving is a problem. Here's the cause. Here's the effect. That was all great. And then they would just say, the solution is don't text and drive. So I cut it because people were failing, or not failing, they were losing significant points because they didn't bother to even show us ways to make it practical or ways to prove that it was effective. Same thing for adopting pets. Hey, there's a lot of pets out there that need adopting. The solution is adopt a pet. Good night. So if you're going to use a problem solutions format in your persuasive speech, please be aware of that. Okay. The conclusion. 3 parts. Restatement of purpose. Review of your main points. And then a closing statement. Again, they need to be separate. Okay, real quick for the conclusion and the introduction. Statement of purpose and restatement of purpose should be different from the review of the main points in the preview. If you're getting up there and saying, today I'm going to talk to you about the fact that Americans eat too much red meat. We're going to talk about the problem. We're going to talk about the cause. We're going to talk about the effects. We're going to talk about, and then you immediately say, now the preview of my main points is, we're going to talk about Americans eating, and you say the exact same thing. You need to cut it down. Again, that restatement of purpose, one simple, quick sentence. All right? Conclusion should take 30 to 40 seconds. Some of you guys were spending, I hear you say, in conclusion, and I'm going like, wait, what? And then I would check the time on your videos, and you would still have 2 minutes to go. A conclusion should not take 2 minutes. Okay, delivery is getting much better. Really happy with delivery. A lot of elbows still locked in with gestures here. Okay, but it's getting better. Okay, not very many people shifting their weight on their feet, which was great. You're planting your feet. You're keeping your back straight. More people are gesturing out to the sides, but there's still some here. Okay, and you got bigger gestures, relaxed elbows, all of that written on the sheet, so you'll see that. But again, vocal delivery is really good. Eye contact is good. All of that. The delivery is really coming along. Very pleased with that. So let's jump out of here. What did I do? What did I do? There we go. What is going on here? All right. I love my MacBook. All right. Let's look at our rubric for our persuasive speech. Okay? So, speech is worth 125 points. Outline is still worth 20 points. It's just the same as always. I will evaluate your outlines, and you know how that works. It works the same way it always has. Introduction is 15 points this time. Same as last time. There's the attention device. Statement of purpose, short, sweet, to the point, one simple sentence. Today I'm here to talk to you about, and then fill in a short phrase. Okay? Preview your main points should be bam, bam, bam. Real quick, don't give us too much detail. Speaker credentials, same as always. Again, go back and watch your tape, and if your introduction has taken more than 30 to 40 seconds, seriously relook at how long redoing it. Now, your organization is going to be 25 points, and what I'm going to be looking for there is going to be explicit, deliberate transitions. That you're using some sort of topical development like we've discussed in class. Chronological, spatial, whatever. Okay? In your persuasion that you're using some sort of development. But the main thing I want to see there is explicit transitions between the main points and development of your subpoints, not just sort of a rambling around. I want to see a clear development of your subpoints. Your conclusion, it says the restatement of purpose and a review of your main points. We all know there's a third part to that, don't we? We do. There's a call to action. You're going to see that in a minute. Okay? Call to action is so important, it's listed separately. Okay? Use of evidence, I've already gone over that. Use of evidence is now 20 points instead of 15. We've upped it a bit. Persuasive speaking really requires that you prove to the audience what you're talking about, that you prove your point, and that's got to be in there. Okay? Nonverbal, same as always, 15 points again. Time limits, 10 points. Now here's the big, and that I should not have to explain at this point, 4.5 to 6 minutes. Okay. Here's where the 25 extra points are going to come. Persuasive intent and effectiveness. Again, as I said in the lecture, when you give a persuasive speech, everything you say should be dedicated and directed at your persuasive intent. Okay? I think this is true is not persuasive language. This is true is persuasive language. I believe this will happen is not persuasive language. This will happen is persuasive language. Okay? I need everybody to understand that. And if you have any questions about that, get a question to me immediately. Do it now. Do it quickly. Okay? I need you to understand that so that you have this. Every word you say should communicate to the audience that you are absolutely convinced that what you're saying is absolutely correct. Okay? And if I start hearing a little, this will probably work, this might work, I'm pretty sure this will work. If I hear any of that, you'll lose points on persuasive language. And your call to action. Remember, call to action, simple, concrete. We talked about it in the lecture. Go back over and relook the lecture if you need to. That's the last thing I hear. Okay? The call to action should be the last thing the audience hears. You giving them a concrete action to do. Now, if your call to action is going to be like, when you leave today, I want you to think about this, you're going to lose a lot of points on that call to action. Remember, you need to give us a concrete action that we can do. Sign a petition, take a pamphlet, here's that phone number. You need to give us something concrete that we can do when we walk out or before we walk out. Hey, when you walk out today, there's going to be pamphlets up here. I want you to take that pamphlet and read it when you get home. Okay? Or even that, I could fix that. I could do that one better. Hey, when you leave today, there's going to be some pamphlets up here. Take a pamphlet, and when you get home, read it. And you need to deliver that call to action with intensity. It needs to have vocal emphasis. It needs to be delivered with good outside gestures. You need to, point at people. Let them know that you're sincere about this. Okay? Again, these are due at the end of the week. I'm going to get this posted. Today's Monday. I'm going to get this posted today. Your outlines are due tomorrow. If you have any questions, please let me know quickly. Engage me via email. Again, if you want to set up a Zoom meeting, I have, I have a laptop that does that. And supposedly my new computer here at school also does Teams, but I hate Teams. So there we go. We're back. All right. That's it. Everybody, we will talk to you. If you need me, contact me. We'll set it up. Stay safe, and we will see you soon.